He controlled. He had to bring aggression. He had to bring generalship. He won that fight off all your scoring acronyms. Punches landed, punches thrown, and all that. They landed at close to the same percentage. Now, per round, there's a couple rounds that Cotto outlanded him big time as far as percentage especially, but punch for punch was about the same consistently throughout. I think Canelo landed maybe 15 more punches in the whole fight. Wasn't it something like that, Professor? It's a real lot.
I should have looked up the punch count, but no.
I haven't looked it up. We're giving you a prediction on this fight way ahead of time. And that's not normal. We don't normally do that, but that's okay. I just figured that, guys, I'm not going to waste my time covering this fight.
An updated prediction can occur later on, but I don't think that either one of us will change our minds too much.
No, of course, we'll do our pre-fight show.
Saturday, May 7th, 2016, at the T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada.
I think that place sits like 20-something thousand people. It's going to be a decent place to see a fight. This is just not the fight I'm going to Vegas to see, guys. I will be in... Huh?
It'll be an example of boxing matchmaking at its worst.
Absolutely. I know Oscar De La Hoya, when he was going down the hall to the conference room, because see what happens, guys, y'all don't know, is Canelo and his trainer and his manager, they come over to Oscar's place down there in L.A., and they say, who's the three opponents you got for us? You know, because most of the time a promoter, like the fighters I manage, for instance, like let's take Darnell, for instance. Like if I was his head manager or whatever, the promoter would come to me with 3 fighters, all right? Sometimes as many as 4, 5, 6, and say, which one of them do you want to fight? I got all of them ready, is willing to fight. You see what I'm saying? My first question always as manager is which one's paying me the most money? And the promoter always looks at me, then looks at the boxer and back at me like, why is that? I'll say, because I want to know, everything's based off on a risk-reward scale. Okay? Now, I'm going to take the absolute no-risk fight if it's only paying, if it's within 75% of what, even if it's within 70% of the risky fight, you know what I mean? Because people underestimate the value of a win in this country and in this sport. Wins are very important. If you think I'm joking, guys, look at Floyd Money Mayweather. Not Floyd Pretty Boy Mayweather. Floyd Money Mayweather. Look what he got. And if you think he is the best, you think he's the best fighter out there, I'll give you, there ain't a snowball's chance in hell of that, guys. He is not the best fighter out there now. Is he the best? Well, in this day and age, they call him they call it boxing. This is boxing, guys. It's hit and not get hit. Well, no, that's hit with some kind of power behind it, at least. When was the last knockout of his? I guess we can count Victor Ortiz, but that's a damn sucker punch in my opinion. Always will be in my opinion. That's just it. Sorry. Now, was it Ortiz's fault he got hit? Yes, it was, because he dropped his guard. You know what I'm saying? But still, they broke, and he should have been ready for a punch to come, but he was still standing there talking to the ref, and Floyd shouldn't hit him, plain and simple. Just like I argue every day. I argue with a guy called in the other day, and we're getting ready to take a caller in 2 minutes, guys. We got a caller coming in 2 minutes. Caller number 9 in 2 minutes. You got a question for the professor or the prophet? Give me a call. Let me know, Joey, now. But yeah, it's Money Mayweather is not Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd, that Diego Corrales fight was one hell of a fight. And there's a difference between a fighter and a boxer, and there's a difference between a damn tactician, which is what I call Floyd now. He's a tactician. He's got all the skills of the great boxers. All right. But tactically, it's best for him to stay away from this guy and pot shot him all night and win on points. And that's what he's done for how long, you think? Since he returned to fight Marquez first. Now, he gave Marquez a lesson in boxing. He really did. I'll say that. he ain't really fought since then. I mean, nothing of any magnitude, has he? I mean, has he really done any much since then? I mean, I know he's won all his fights. Don't get me wrong. No, he fought Mosley after that, didn't he? And Mosley stunned him one time in the second round. And guys, you get hit on the button. I don't give a damn who it's by, but especially if the man's the same size, it's gonna rock you, guys. It's gonna rock you, and it did rock him for a minute. Zab Judah knocked him down. Was it a flash knockdown? Yeah, it was a flash knockdown, but it's still a knockdown. I mean, Carlos Hernandez did not knock him down, but he's got credit for having the only knockdown over him ever. But, it's boxing.
His last legitimate KO was against Ricky Hatton, and that's in 2007.
Yeah, exactly. So 6.5, not 6.5, but 9 years ago, almost 8 years ago actually, what it is. But a little over 8 years ago. So I think they fought in September, I believe, or something like that, wasn't it? And
but he also had 3 consecutive decisions before that. So really, his dominance as a KO puncher ended in 2005 against Shambe Mitchell.
I forgot I didn't forget he fought Shambe, but Shambe is a fighter that could have knocked him out. I mean, don't get me wrong, Shambe Mitchell he's got what's called sneaky power. You know what I'm saying? And Shambe he fought Paul. He rattled Paul with a couple shots. And I remember when Paul fought Margarito, that was before we knew his last name was Cheeto. But Paul come back to the corner saying, "Man, I swear to God, it's like he's hitting me with rocks." We didn't know at the time, but I tell you what, there ain't nobody ever going to a locker room other than me after that, or George. But, I'm trying to get Paul on here on the show to talk a little bit, but Paul kind of mad at me because last time I talked to him, I told him, Paul, you lost more than that damn 2 fights. And I'm the first to say it. One thing you'll learn about me, guys, I'm very unbiased. Who is my favorite fighters today is Vasily Lomachenko, Andre Ward, and Gennady Golovkin. I know what you're thinking. Boy, that's kind of backwards, ain't it? How can you be a Golovkin and a Ward fan? I am a boxing fan, fellas. Not a boxer fan, all right? I'm a boxing fan. I believe that Ward, if it's DeAndre Ward that we all learned to love a few years ago, he can beat Kovalev. That guy can beat Kovalev. Could he beat Golovkin? That I'm not so sure about. That's the fight that would impress the hell out of me, I believe. That's the fight that would keep me on the edge of my seat. I would have the biggest TV in every room of my house to make sure I did not miss a second of that fight in case I had to go to the bathroom or somewhere, I think that it would be the fight of the century, in my opinion. I don't know how the professor feels about it, but to me, that would be the best fight possible.
Well, I think you said GGG against Kovalev, right?
No, Ward against Triple G is the best possible fight. If I can get Ward back in his right.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Well, we're not getting that right now, but it looks like Kovalev and Ward may be possible sometime soon.
Yeah.
And while I'm not going to make a prediction on it yet, I will say this. Because of Kovalev getting a little bit sloppy at times, I think Ward's chances are greatly increased for a victory in that.
I just said, Professor, pretty much as I said that if we get DeAndre Ward, that we all fell in love with that Super 8 tournament, the man that lost 4 rounds in 6 fights, guys, he beats Sergey Kovalev. That man beats Sergey Kovalev. He's the best I have ever seen in my life at smothering the other guy's power. Now, I know a lot of y'all may not know what I'm talking about. All right. Now, I know the professor does because he's in these forums and stuff enough to know what that means. All right. Smothering power, guys, which means you don't ever allow your opponent. You may get hit. You're going to get hit in the body a lot. You can get a lot of little check shots. You're going to get a lot of shots, but you're never going to let him extend on you. What I mean by extend is you're taught to punch through the head, through the face, all right? To the back of the head is where we're taught to punch as boxers. Well, whenever your head's only 6 inches from my shoulder, how in the hell am I going to punch you to the back of the head without reaching around and hitting you in the back of the head? You see what I'm saying, guys? I mean, that is what I mean by smothering power. That's what you call smothering their punches, and he's the best I've ever seen at it. I'm not going to lie. And a little bit of that has to do with the fact that he can fight left hand, he can fight orthodox, southpaw, unorthodox from the right side. You know what I mean? He does it all. Ward can do it all if he's on his game. And I promise you that when he gets done with Barrera in March, if he fights one more tune-up, and then him and Cove get in the ring come November or December, he'll be right. Andre Ward will be right. And if he's right, he's the man that can beat him. He can beat Kovalev. Can he beat Golovkin? I'm not sure about that one yet. That one I'm not sure, because I don't think he's got the power to be able to get inside of Golovkin. Do you understand what I'm saying, Professor?
Yeah, right. I'm definitely sold on his abilities. In a way, he's kind of like Floyd. It's not exactly staying in the pocket the same way, but he stays within middle punching distance constantly and doesn't get hit very often. He just never hurt from that position. He's always in position to be beating up the opponent, and he does.
Who's that?
GGG.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord, yeah. That's
Yeah, it's like effortlessly, he just simply stays in position to punch.
Yeah.
They run, but they can't hide, like Joe Louis said.
Mm-hmm. Guys, we got Lomachenko's coming up on the undercard here soon. I'm trying to think of which undercard is on. It might be Crawford's. If he is, don't miss him, guys. It's a poetry in motion. And if both of them's on a card, you're looking at 2 of the top 6 fighters in the world, pound for pound, bar none. Now, them two could possibly meet eventually in the ring. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Because, I mean, Lomo has fought at 132 before. You know, actually, I think he weighed in at 133 in a preliminary bout in the Olympics in 2012 in London when he won his last gold. But fellas, his amateur career is the best of all time. He's the greatest amateur in the history of boxing. For those of y'all who don't know, we're talking a little Olympic boxing because Friday night we had Teofimo Lopez coming on, junior and senior. We also have Meldrick Taylor Friday, but he might be doing the midday show. I'm not positive yet. Friday night, though, we also have it's an MMA fighter coming on. I don't have his name right in front of me. He's not an household name. I'm not going to lie to you. But he is a great fighter. And when I say a great fighter, I mean he's undefeated 11-0, and he's already a champion in Bellator. So he's a good fighter. Bellator carries some pretty decent champions. We got Benson Henderson coming on pretty soon. We also have, boxing-wise, Fred Kesey, which is a heavyweight that fought Dominic Brazil to a decision his last time out. We have another heavyweight named Faroud Kella, which is the WBC Latino heavyweight champion of the world. And he should be on, well, I'll be honest with you, he got a 30-day sentence on a case he had in Bolivia. He's got to serve 28 days, and he'll be here. He'll be on. He's actually coming back because he's coming under my tutelage in Youngstown, Ohio. Shout out to Kelly Pavlik, the Ghost. Talked to him day before yesterday. He's going to welcome us with open arms in Youngstown, Marietta, Cleveland, Akron, Columbus, Findlay, Toledo. Trying to get used to my new listening area, but I want to thank everybody listening tonight. I want Stockbridge, Georgia. Stand up, clap your hands, guys. We're glad to have you. Monroe, Georgia. We're glad to have you. Marietta, Kennesaw, Alpharetta, Roswell. These are all surrounding areas of Atlanta. We also have listeners all throughout Atlanta. We got Charlotte, North Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, Spartanburg, Charleston, Florence, Augusta, Georgia, We have Spartanburg and Statesboro.